Joe Biden, he's trying. He announced 10 drugs that will be eligible for price negotiations under Medicare as part of the Inflation Reduction Act. And sadly for the Senate, Cialis didn't make the cut.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So sad. Now, maybe you're not over 65 if you're listening. Maybe you don't use any meds. Congratulations. But the price changes will potentially help 50 million Americans.
That's
right
good.
now, 9 million seniors pay as much as $6,500 a month for out-of-pocket costs. Medicare pays twice as much as the VA for its meds. The VA can negotiate prices. Medicare cannot. So those are some important things. Here's the drugs that did make the cut, though. A lot of Eliquis, Jardiance, Xarelto. So we got diabetes, blood clotting, heart failure, autoimmune conditions, cancer, psoriasis and arthritis, diabetes, all stuff that a lot of seniors do struggle with.
Now, I like how these names all look like bands at Lollapalooza.
Oh yeah, this is the Burning Man for seniors. Like if you're over 65, you're like, fuck yeah, you check out the Januvia tent. Were you there?
Yeah. We were at the Eloquence tent.
Yeah. Solera was fire. And my psoriasis was not. So exactly. Over on the right, you can see just how much Medicare spends in the billions. Eliquis, blood clotting drug from Pfizer, $16.5 billion is spent on that through Medicare. So like, again, this is all, all coming from, other than the military, one of the biggest things that the government spends money on, the thing that Republicans hate, which is Medicare, which is great. Healthcare, it should be good, but this is hugely cost saving, and it's been that we've been gouged for so many years. Just to give you a sense of how much we've been gouged, the Medicare and Medicaid services spent $50.5 billion between June 2022 and the end of May 2023 on these 10 drugs. $50 billion, like 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year. So this is about 20% of the total cost of drugs in the Medicare prescription drug program known as Part D. Now, of course, they're not going to be free. They might not be as cheap as the VAs, but at least it's like the ability to negotiate.
So these people, older seniors won't have to pay as much.
Exactly. I do think it'd be funny if we left the negotiating to them.
Yeah. Like, what's a
just
fair
going
price?
To their pharmacist. We're like, come on,
What's a fair price for your life, though? I mean, this
honestly, $10 a bottle, that.
Yeah.
But yet, even though this is just negotiations, Big Pharma's super mad. This is just this summer. All right. Merck sues U.S. government to halt Medicare drug pricing negotiation. Novartis sues U.S. government over Medicare drug pricing regulation. Humana sues U.S. government to block Medicare clawback rule. AstraZeneca sues U.S. government over drug price reforms. So they're mad.
How much money do you need, bro? Like, literally, how much? I think about that all the time. Where people are so greedy and like everything. Like, if we don't have people, if we don't have a planet, like, what the fuck does it matter if you have all the money?
Exactly. I mean, you can Burning Man. Exactly. You can only buy so many Airstreams and tents there.
Yeah.
But again, and we will, to quote the head of the UAW, which we're going to talk about that next week, who may be going on strike very soon. It's he said, so some other asshole can shoot themselves to the moon. Like, that's pretty much what it is. It's like, oh, so you can have your Mars project. That's what we're all doing here. It's board money. That's how much money is just board money. But it's a huge step in the right direction. Here was also, here was Biden this weekend celebrating Labor Day. He's dunking on, he's dunking on, sorry, I remember we have a little bit of a thing. So actually, before we leave this, here's Ro Khanna actually speaking on MSNBC about these drug prices.
From Paul Ryan, the Republicans have been railing against the cost of Medicare, the cost of Medicare, the cost of deficits. They've done nothing about it. Joe Biden is the first president who says, okay, let's reduce the cost of Medicare. You know how you reduce the cost? You go after the excessive fees. One of the excessive costs is pharmaceuticals. They're making billions of dollars of profits. It's going into stock buybacks and shareholders. The American people are getting fleeced. And President Biden is saying, no, we're going to stop it. We're going to negotiate. We're going to have Americans pay the same price as places other countries around the world pay. And you know who was for this, actually? Donald Trump. What's the difference? Yes. Joe Biden actually delivered what Donald Trump was talking about.
And he's not lying. I just look back.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. 2016, Trump campaigned on this. He campaigned that he was going to lower med prices for seniors. He met with pharma lobbyists weeks after he was inaugurated, and he thought, no, any kind of price negotiation would, quote, hurt smaller, younger companies, the smaller, younger billionaires. It'll hurt them. So he decided for the Trump tax cuts, $1.1 trillion, which, by the way, speaking of private jets, you could write off your private jet under those tax cuts. So, Mateen, I know you took advantage of that loophole.
Yeah, I got my private jet in the back.
Can you also? My question is, can you also write off the photo sessions that make it look like you're in a private jet? You know, those ones for like the Instagram? You
should be able to.
Right?
Yeah.
Do something for the people. That's what we get. That's like the reform we want. We don't just want private jets written off. We want the people pretending they own a private jet or fly in one. That should be written off as well. And here was Biden then, like I was saying, on Labor Day, a little shade thrown at Donald Trump.
We also passed the bipartisan infrastructure law. You can't have the strongest economy in the world with a second-rate infrastructure. Can you believe we used to have the best infrastructure in the world, and then we fell to number 13 in the world, roads, bridges, internet, the whole deal. 13, the United States of America, 13th in the world. But guess what? Guess what? The great real estate builder, the last guy here, he didn't build a damn thing. Under my predecessor, Infrastructure Week became a punchline. On my watch, infrastructure has been a decade and it's a headline.
Stick that landing.
He's so old. He is so old. Oh man, I just see here Fire Marshal Bill from Living Color, Jim Carrey.
First of all, he's perfect for the job. He's a perfect age for this job. All right. Did he stick that landing? Yes, he did. It wasn't a punchline. It's a headline. Zing, baby. He's got it. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.